Hi, and welcome to this quick tutorial on finding a missing coordinate using slope. I really enjoyed seeing all of you during my Zoom meeting yesterday, and we were reminded that slope is the comparison or the measurement of the vertical distance of a linear equation compared to the how much it moves up and down compared to the horizontal distance, but with a linear equation. And again, I apologize if I'm tripping over my words a little bit. I've tried to do this video about 7 times and I keep having to throw it out. So we're going to try again. And so when we remember that basically what we're looking at is we're looking at how far apart those 2 points are. We're looking at how far apart they are as a measurement comparing the vertical change compared to the horizontal change in X. Sometimes we use the word rise to talk about how far it's moving up and down. And sometimes we use the word run to discuss how far it's moving side to side. And I'm going to go ahead and delete everything that I've written so far so that we can start on this problem. So as I look at this problem, I've got the point -2, 5, and I have the point -4 and u, and I'm trying to figure out where this point is in relationship to, I'm sorry, how far these points are, knowing that they have a slope of 6. So I have to think about what a slope of 6 means and how that relates to these 2 points. So let's start by looking at this on a graph, because I think it always helps to look at things graphically and see what's going on with them. So let's start with the point -2, 5. So over here on my x-axis, I'm at -2, and up here on my y-axis, I'm at the 5. And I have this lovely little point right there where those 2 points are, where those two values would collide. And now I'm looking at this point of -4. Well, I happen to know, and I'm going to change colors on you. So I happen to know where it is on the x-axis. I know it has a -4 there. And what I'm trying to figure out is how far up is this point? How far up, or I guess how far down, is this point? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. And so if I think of that as it having a relationship to this point here, then I definitely can use the idea that it has a slope of 6 to pass through those 2 points. So if it has a slope of 6, I know that it's positive, so I know it's heading up in that direction. And I know that every time it goes up 6, it goes over by 1. That's what a slope of 6 means. And so I know this is at the 5. And so now I just have to figure out, well, it moved twice in this direction, which means it had to move twice this value. See, if it goes by 2, then it had to have gone up 12, because if I'm going to double the amount that it's going in the x direction, then I have to double the amount that it's going in the y direction as well, to keep that same ratio of 6 to 1. And so I know that it went up 6 over 1, up 6 over 1, and it landed at the point -2, 5. Now all I have to do is figure out, well, where did it come from? And so and I know that it went over 1 twice, because from -4 to -2, it's gone a total of 2. So if I want to simplify that, I know it's gone to the right 2, and it's gone up 12, or 2 sixes, in the y direction. If it landed at 5, then it had to have started at -7, because from -7 to +5, there's a value of 12. And so I know that the other point down here must be at -4, -7. And that's one way to think of this problem is visually, because if I start at -7 and I go up 12, I'm going to land at 5. And if I go to the right 2 from -4, I'm going to land at from -4, I'm going to land at -2. Now, if that was confusing for you, and it might have been, let's look at it algebraically, because sometimes we think more algebraically. I'm one of the people that thinks more algebraically. I prefer to look at it at a table. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with my XY table, my input-output table that that I've been using to look at all relationships. And I happen to know that X has a value of -2, Y has a value of 5. So if X has a value of -4, U is the value I'm looking for. I'm going to start by finding the relationship of the change in Y. Well, I don't know what that relationship is yet because I don't know the value of U. So I'm going to leave it blank in my mind. So over here, I'm going to look at the change in X. Well, the change in X from -2, that's the same color it looks like, from -2 to -4, man, I can't keep different colors. I'm sorry. If I look from -2 to -4, it went down 2. Or actually, because it's on the x-axis, it went left 2, but it lost a value of 2 from -2 to get to -4. -2 minus -2 equals -4. So then I'm going to go back to what I know about the relationship of slope. Slope is a relationship change of the change in y compared to the change in x. So I'm going to put in the values that I already know, and I know that it equals 6. How do I know it equals 6? Because right here in the problem it told me it equaled 6. I know that my change in y is what I'm trying to figure out, and I know that my change in x is -2. So now all I have to think to myself is, well, what do I divide by -2 to get 6? And that's a pretty simple problem. I divide -12. To remember -12 from our visual example, that's where this came from. Well, how do I use it here? Well, that tells me this value that I didn't know before. It tells me that the change in y must have been -12 because from -12 divided by -2 gives me the positive 6. So 5 minus 12 is -7. And that's the other way I can get -7 on this problem. I hope that helps you. And if you have any questions, email me, Zoom. We're going to get through this together. I can't wait to see you all again. Miss you. Bye. I can remember how to stop the video, at least. There we go. Now I'm going to say miss you. Bye.